Good morning. It's October the 20th, and I'm in a different place to start with. They're doing the leaves on our street, sweeping the leaves off the street tomorrow, so there's no parking there from 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's redundant, 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, as opposed to 4 a.m. tomorrow evening. So that meant I needed to move one of the cars over here, and we'll put the other one behind the house. So this is the condo building that we have a condo in and lived when we were first married. So I have access to the underground parking there. So I parked that car there. So I thought I'd do my walk from here. So we're kind of on the edge of downtown. There's Central Park, not the New York one, but you know. I still like to say I have a condo on the edge of Central Park. Thought I'd walk out here along 15th down to Winnipeg, then come back, maybe go down to Broadway, and then come back along College, and then I'll be ending up at home, not here. So that's the plan. Hard frost last night. It's about -1 now. It was -7, I think, when I got up. 6 or 7. And the trees are suddenly deciding maybe they should get serious about this losing leaves. So the ones that have been hanging on to them are now thinking, ooh, I gotta get rid of these things. So I noticed just coming over here that suddenly the trees that had looked kind of green still are looking less green and less leafy. The change is gonna come. Winter is coming. So currently walking east along 15th. We'll go all the way to Winnipeg, not the town. Not going to walk that far east. The street called Winnipeg. Tennis court up here, in case you're wondering. Hi, Kirk in Vancouver. My timing is all over the place these last few walks, just because of the weather and various other things. I do need to go downtown one day this week, so I'll probably do a walk downtown one day this week. I remember walking with somebody who had me look at that house right next to this condo building here, because they used to live there when they lived in Regina years ago. Everything over here is pretty new, and so is this. Albany Place. And so is this condo building. Which I mostly have been in because it has a bubble tea place just around the corner here that I took my daughter to quite a bit. There used to be an art gallery in here too, but it went away. This one's called Center Square Place. And yeah, there's a bubble tea place right there, if you like that sort of thing. I'm not a huge fan of bubble tea, but my daughter likes it, so I've had it once in a while. That used to be a coffee shop when they first built it. Now it's a doctor's offices. It was a rather grand coffee shop, as those things go. I liked it, but it just didn't last. I think it's funny, it still has the deck there from when it was a coffee shop. So we're crossing Broad, looking downtown. Apartment for rent here, should you be in the market for such a thing. This will take us by the General Hospital, going this way. Someone was asking me yesterday about hospitals, and there are just two. Regina General Hospital, which is up here, and the Pasqua Hospital, which I walked around yesterday. There used to be 3, Plains Health Center, which is now Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and I walked around it last week, so. Apartment building there, one of the taller ones. Almost walked into a post there when I did that. This is actually one of the older residential neighborhoods over here, as you can tell from the houses. There's a few new ones tucked away in among the old ones. Yep, looks like we've lost leaves just overnight. It's the trees that thought, ooh, that was cold. You'd think when they were cold they'd want to hang on to their leaves, but the frost always seems to accelerate the dropping of them. Hopefully it kills the wasps that I think have managed to find a way into the eaves in one place in our house. I think they're fairly localized, but they were getting into our bathroom through the light fixture, the holes in the walls for the light fixture. So a little concerning. I've called 3 pest control companies. None of them have gotten back to me. Critter Getter, Poulins, what's the other one called? I don't know. All 3 of them are ignoring me. Doesn't seem like good customer service to me, but you know, maybe they don't actually need business, Poulins and Critter Getter. And what's the other one called? Capital Pest Control or something like that. Maybe they just don't like wasps. I don't know what to do about them. They could at least get back to me and tell me. Now I'll have to follow up. I left you a message. You didn't call me back. What's with that? There's the Regina General Hospital. 15th Avenue entrance. The main entrance is on the other side of the building. This is kind of the specialists' offices. If you're going to see a specialist, it could very well be in here. Where my daughter was born, of course. That's the every baby in Regina is born in the general, pretty much, if they're born in a hospital. I don't believe the Pasco delivers babies. That was more than 20 years ago now. It was 20 years ago today. Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. Been watching this great interview series with Paul McCartney on, I think it's on Netflix, called McCartney 321. It's on Netflix. All my streaming services run together because the TV lets you pick them easily. I can never remember necessarily which service it was on, but I think that's on Netflix. With Rick Rubin, record producer, interviewing him. And Rubin I know from my biography I wrote of Johnny Cash. He was the guy from American Records who kind of gave Cash a new lease on life, late in life, with the records he did with him then. This house is for sale. It's a big one too. Very handy if you worked at the hospital. My only concern about the wasps is that they don't get frozen out completely, and there's a queen hanging out in there, ready to start all over again in the spring. I don't want that. I want them out of there. Murdered. It's an interesting old apartment building here. I walked along 15th before, but in the other direction. I don't think I've ever walked it in this direction. Makes it look a little different. Sure what they're doing in there. they plan to do in there. Hemp Haven. This used to be a convenience store. In fact, I think in Shards of Excalibur, I have a convenience store there. Because some of it takes place in this neighborhood, kind of, because they go to school just down there. My niece used to live in the condo in here, which is very handy to multinational over here, Brew Pub. Beer here, as it says. I haven't been there for a while. They do interesting brews. The next stop sign up there will be Winnipeg, and then we'll go to the right and walk down to Broadway, I think. Unless I just walk back along College. I was thinking I'd go down to Broadway, not join College until the next block down. For one thing, squirrel. Don't walk by as many high schools doing that. I watched the gutters. I've slipped a couple of times because of the water underneath the leaves and puddles in the gutters. Makes it very slippery. Somebody yesterday said I thought the sound was too soft. I don't see why it should be. It sounded fine to me. Haven't really changed anything. Okay, I'll go this way now. Heading south toward Broadway. Very sunny day again. Chilly but sunny. Saskatchewan does that very well. In the wintertime, it can be a beautiful sunny day. It can also be, 30 below. So, will I walk at 30 below? Not very long. But down to about 20 below, sort of that zero, bit below 0 Fahrenheit. As long as I've got the right clothing, I'm fine. I don't know how well the gimbal will hold up. I don't know how well the battery on the iPhone will hold up in really cold weather. But I guess going forward, I'll find out. I've walked around the lake even at, minus 20. Might really affect the narration because I'd probably cover my face if the wind was blowing. Yeah, right. I don't suppose it'd be any worse than talking in a mask. We've all had practice at that. So there's two schools here. Miller over there. It's a Catholic school. A little further down is, and just take it then. Make you sure nobody was turning left. So Miller here, and then you've got Balfour further down, and both of them figure in the Shards of Excalibur series. Although Balfour is called Oscana in the series, and Miller is St. Dunstan, I think. A name I chose because it has an Arthurian connection. Nothing actually happens in this school, but it does in Oscana. One of the main differences I made to the real Balfour is I needed a swimming pool, so I put a swimming pool in the school. Big blank wall. Only a slight prison appearance to the school. Now, Arianne Forsyth lives on the next street over here in the story. And a very major event takes place just south of the school where there used to be tennis courts, and there still are in my story. But in real life, they're not there anymore. That's what we call artistic license. Take off my hat. My head's starting to itch. It's not my favorite toque, but it's the only one I could find. So it's now a parking lot there on that side of the fence. Used to be a tennis court. And that's a major scene takes place there. Right there. Just in the fictional version of Regina that's in the book. Slightly fictionalized. There are real places, and then there are fictionalized places. Apartment building here. So this is Broadway coming up. Maybe I'll walk down behind the building. I don't know, there's people down there, so I won't do that. I guess I could walk around this way. We'll go around the front of the building, stay in the sunshine where it's warm. There's the school, and again, I had tennis courts there that aren't there anymore. This is the older of the two buildings along here. The next one over is actually well, they started as a retirement center, and maybe still is, assisted living kind of thing, where you could get meals and so forth. This one's just an apartment building, as far as I know. Milton Heights, it's called. I wonder why Milton. Who was Milton that it got an apartment building named after him? No. And Balfour is the red brick building over there, Balfour Collegiate. Oscana in the Shards of Excalibur. There are suites available here. Don't get run over. Underground parking. This one is called Broadway Terrace. There's the entrance. Broadway Terrace, an Eden Care community. There's the Balfour Collegiate. Over here is the grocery store. It used to be a Save on Foods, now it's just an independent. And there's a liquor store next to it. Raven. waddling along. And the school bell going. Broadway Center, Family Services Regina on it. This used to be a curling rink. Now it's a gym of some sort. Scanna Park Estates over there, it's apartments. Next Level Fitness. Those trees have dropped all their leaves right here. I'll walk up to the front of this building so I don't trip over these people who are sitting on the sidewalk for some reason. So this is called Cedarwood Manor. I haven't been in there. I've been in a lot of them, but not that one. Some crunchy leaves in there. St. Chad's Crescent. St. Chad's, of course, is the old school over there that I've walked by several times and turned into condos. There's the Regina Girl Guide Center. Shiloh Assembly. Apostolic Church. And then we get Canadian Blood Services. They won't take my blood for a variety of reasons. Mainly because I had rheumatic fever as a kid, that kind of took me out of the running right there. Now there'd be other reasons too. I doubt they'd like the medications I take. Come back to the park. Across here, and then we'll walk along College in this direction, which is, oh good, we've caught it just perfectly here. Get across Broad. This used to be the CNIB. They tore it down. They're supposed to build something else there, but there was something not quite kosher about the way that all went around. went down, so nothing has happened yet. So these buildings over here are all new. That was just a community garden when I first moved here. This is the CBC over here, which we'll be going by in a minute. There's a pub over there called The Lobby. I think I've only ever been in it once. There's Subway, where I've bought many a sandwich because it was on the way to the theater where dance competitions used to be held. And hopefully will be again. And the Naked Bean coffee shop. Been in there many times on that corner. Whenever I need a coffee shop in one of my stories, I always call it the Human Bean. I think I've used it in more than one world. There's various other stores over there. Badham Boulevard, it's called. Goes down to the sort of retirement residence down at the other end. This is CBC over here. CBC's size has shrunk locally. Other things have gone in there, so it's also where the provincial archives are. They used to be quite a bit further down West Canada Drive here. All right. Now just down College Avenue to home, basically. There's CBC, and it connects to the soundstage, which is this building, although technically the soundstage is kind of mostly that part, I think, in the middle, and some in here, I guess. But this is where there's a lot of artsy organizations. Creative Saskatchewan, which is a funding organization, is in here. Saska Books, the Publishers Association that I'm on the board of, is in there. Apartment building, one of the older ones across the street. Canada is currently the featured country at the Frankfurt Book Fair, and Sask Books actually has a representative over there showing off Saskatchewan books as part of the Canadian contingent. There's the front. Again, the inside is entirely renovated. The only thing that's really still old inside is inside this tower. Everything else it was just stripped down to a shell and brand new rooms and floors and things put in. But they kept the facade, which is good because it's an important part of the streetscape here. Next up, of course, is the college building. Original home of the University of Regina when it was called Regina College. And it's still a college building, still part of the university. It's been recently renovated too, but in its case, there's much more of the old building left inside, with except for one wing that was torn down and completely redone, and the addition of elevator. I got this in, there's now an elevator. It was never an accessible building. They didn't worry about that in 1912 when it was originally built. So we'll go down and walk in front of it. There's a giant frog inside that shed. Piece of artwork. I presume at some point it will emerge again. Perhaps they're working on it, restoring it in some fashion. lots of parking behind it now, and it's also landscaped on this side. It was just kind of overgrown on this side of the building. See, there's a few other sculptures because the art department used to be in here, down in the basement. So we're kind of back to where we started. That's College Gardens, that building. And the one we have a condo in, College Court, which was built a couple of years later, is behind it facing onto Hamilton Street there. Sorry, it's Garth Street. That's Hamilton. Our condo building was built in '97, the same year we got married, so it was brand new when we started living there. We lived there until Alice was about 5, so I guess we lived there for 10 years, almost 10 years. Maybe more like 9 or 8. And then we switched places with my mother-in-law, my wife's mother. She moved into the condo, which was much easier for her. It's all one level. And we moved into the house where we have been ever since. You can go right through here to the back, but of course you'd have to put on a mask to go in there. I'm not interested in that. So here you just have facade, and it's new behind there. It's very cool. And whenever the useless mask mandate is finally pulled off, I'll go in there and show it off. This is a dark hall. Coming along. Looks like the landscaping here is getting close to being finished as well. I haven't been able to walk to here before. So that will have flower beds, I think. And it's supposed to be like a place you can even have some outdoor, like there's a bit of a stage down there, I think. I haven't been able to get this close to Dark Hall for a long time. So there's the old front entrance. New steps. What used to be there. One of the things about the old building was that as soon as you came out of those doors, there was an immediate step about that far. It's a great way to trip and kill yourself. But that won't be the main entrance anymore. It may just be an exit, in fact. They don't have any, I see there's no hardware on it, so it must just be emergency exits. So the new entrance is down here in this joint lobby between Dark Hall and the Connexus building here, credit union building here. Oh, there I am. You can, sort of see inside. I've done it before. If I put this right up to the glass, you can sort of see inside the lobby there. There you go. There's still some work going on there, I think. And I like this little, if you walk right up next to the glass here, now there's probably people on the other side wondering what the heck I'm doing, but if you walk right up against the glass, you get this cool reflection effect. At least I think it's cool. It's not quite perfectly down the middle, of course, because I can't walk through the glass pane, but still, cool effect, I think. Now we'll go into the park. There's the sidewalk. Look down, they're working on the new swimming pool over here. There's the Connexus building from this side. It's really grown on me. I wasn't sure what I thought of it when they were working on it, but I actually like it quite a bit now. And the Royal Saskatchewan Museum is over there. And over here is where they're building the new swimming pool to replace the old Wascana pool. So I think we'll go up here. We'll cross the street down here, I think. They went well out of their way, either scared of COVID or scared of the camera. I'm not sure which. There usually have been flower beds down that little piece of, but obviously nothing right now, and I don't think they had anything this summer either. Again, that's the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. They're sort of using this area to the left as a staging area. So, for materials for the pool. And dirt, apparently. I don't know if they're digging it or storing it. Maybe they're building a hill with it. I don't know. First time I've seen a piece of equipment that big in there. Obviously, to do a pool, you have to dig a hole. I'm surprised how many people I find walking along here in the morning. And there's the lake, which I will walk around in 2 days on Friday. Looking pretty here with the way the sun's shining. Back in among the trees, there's picnic tables. Only had one person say hi on YouTube this morning, nobody on Facebook. I will post the final version later, which is what most people watch. I'll probably delete this one today, the live version. And here we cross the road, or go through the underpass, but I think I'll cross up on top today. This is Hyde Park, or sorry, Speaker's Corner, which has lanterns which came from Hyde Park in London. Or of course the original Speaker's Corner is. Yes. They were probably originally gas lanterns, but now they're got an unstable internet connection. But it came back. So yeah, Speaker's Corner there, through the trees. So how long have I been out? A lot shorter than I would have thought. I was kind of guessing, so. Didn't guess very well, I guess. That guy just turned left. Oh, he's on the stop sign. I was thinking he turned left on a red light. He doesn't have a light. I'm the one with the light. Must be changing. There we go. So there's the bridge, Albert Street Bridge. That was a phone call, so hopefully that's one of the pest control people I called yesterday getting back to me. I missed their call, but I didn't want to take it while I was doing this because it really messes up the video. There's the giant spider currently residing here. Ooh, spooky. Well, not so much in bright sunlight in the morning, but maybe at night on Halloween for the kitties. Oh, I got all this way without anything in my eye, and now I've got something quite painful in my left eye all of a sudden. Contacts are a pain when there's dust around, and there's always dust around in Saskatchewan. Okay. Almost home. Davin School ahead of us. A familiar piece of alleyway if you've walked with me very often. Getting warm. I don't zip my coat except my microphone is attached to the zipper, so that wouldn't work. But I'm almost home anyway. Got rehearsal tonight for Guilty Pleasures, which is the new show coming up with Regina Musical Theatre. Songs that you know you shouldn't like, but you do. Sort of earworms. Oh, and I did have my first guitar lesson yesterday. Now I just have to practice. I also got the guitar adjusted. It had very high action, very difficult to play. Unfortunately, it was a cheap guitar to begin with, and I got it at a silent auction a few years ago, and it hasn't been played, and apparently it's dried out and it's actually deteriorated. So it's good enough to start with, but if the lessons take and I become someone who plays guitar regularly, I'll probably see about getting a decent guitar, a better guitar. Maybe for Christmas or something, who knows. And yes, that's why I left the car over in the other place. No parking this block from 4 a.m. Thursday. Okay. I'll stop here. Thanks for walking with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.